Good for our insides. Interesting. Here to talk about this with us this morning is clinical nutritionist Sara Vance of Rebalance Life. We're going to talk a little bit about the good bacteria. So let's start at the very beginning with basically what is fermentation for people that don't know.
So fermentation basically takes foods, just regular foods like cabbage, and turns them into superfoods. By introducing bacteria and sometimes yeast and other microorganisms is the nutrition of the food. It creates more bacteria, which is good bacteria in our bodies, like probiotics. And so it's just an amazing way of really boosting the good bacteria in your gut.
And can help with digestion and all of those things.
Yes, it can help with digestion, immunity, and there's new research to show it affects our weight. It's related to whether or not we're going to have diabetes and heart disease. It is a big component of our mood. Yeah.
Interesting. It can enhance your mood. Okay, so we've all heard of superfoods, but you have some super drinks for us here this morning. Let's start with this big old jar of something right here.
This is a fermented tea called kombucha. And kombucha basically is just black tea, and then you brew the black tea, you put sugar in it, and the sugar actually feeds that thing, which is called the SCOBY.
This is the top part, is what you're talking
about? That is the actual
SCOBY?
SCOBY, which is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast, and that's what gives the kombucha its bacteria.
It looks so scary, doesn't it?
I know. A lot of people buy these, but they may never have seen how this originates. And
right.
It's fascinating.
Okay, and you brought something for us to make here today. What are we going to be making?
I did. We're making, one of the easiest things to do when you make fermented foods is to just start with sauerkraut or fermented cabbage.
Okay.
And so all you do, I've just basically taken this one head of cabbage, and I always save the top and the stem to kind of use on the top of the bottle to keep the cabbage under the brine.
Oh, okay.
But you see all that liquid in there basically just is released from the cabbage. So I like to use this is like a $3 mandolin. You just grate your cabbage, and I love these little cone cabbages because they're just so easy to do.
Yeah.
You grate it, and then what you do is you just put you always use high quality salt. You want to use like the Celtic salt or like the pink Himalayan, but Celtic is really traditional for fermentation.
Okay.
And you can add whatever you like. If you wanted a little spicy, you could put some red pepper flakes in there. That's all you do. And then what you do is once you put the salt in, I put a couple teaspoons in there already, it's going to start to release all of the water.
Okay.
And you get in there and you just really mash it up. And the more you mash it up, the more it's going to release the liquid in the cabbage. And that is what creates this, what's called the brine. That's what ferments the cabbage.
You mentioned buying some fermented cabbage. Is it all automatically fermented, what you buy?
No, so this is just fresh cabbage,
okay.
and then when you do this process, it's going to ferment it. But you can buy cabbage, a lot of times, you can buy sauerkraut at the store that hasn't been fermented. It's, the difference between, like, say, the pickles. Those are fermented pickles over there. The vinegar is a byproduct of fermentation, whereas if you buy, like, the pickles that have been that are more like canned and prepared because they've been boiled.
Sure.
They add vinegar to them, and so it really changes, the nutrition of the food when you ferment it versus and you can see how much water is being released just from, and how much it's shrunk down in size.
And you would do what with this? Make a soup out of it, or?
Yeah, you could put it on. You could put it on some sandwiches and things like that. You could make a soup out of it. We've made...
you just eat it raw?
You could eat it raw, yeah. And even what they say is just like a couple of tablespoons before you have your meal or with your meal. Koreans eat kimchi as fermented cabbage. Koreans eat about a quarter pound of kimchi a day.
I want to get to this really, really quickly. What is this right here? This is something you recommend for people to have, right?
So for people that aren't into brewing their own kombucha and things like that, if you want to just buy it, you could buy kombucha, or that product is called Inner Eco, and it's basically a liquid probiotic. It's like a fermented coconut water, and it is really delicious. It's fizzy, and you can hear it when you open it.
Oh, it does. You're right. It's like a little Sprite. Okay, here's the deal. If you want to get in touch with Sara Vance at Rebalance Life, you can do so by going to our website, fox5sandiego.com. Go there right now and click on the Scene On tab. You can also get more information on her nutrition programs. Does this taste good? Be honest.
I love it. And what you do
I'm so curious, Raul. I really want
to try it. After you make this, I'll give you a little sip. Let's open this one. Because this is the second ferment and this is fizzy. Now watch
This
out.
is that?
Sometimes it's a geyser when you open it because pressure builds up the second time.
Okay, cheers. Oh, look at there. Yep.
There we go. It's kind of like
Cheers.
champagne. I did that in my
Now
kitchen
we've got a
once. It
party.
hit my ceiling.
All right, I'll take this. And bottoms up, Raul.
Bottoms up. All right. You know, what's the worst that could happen? Give it a shot. I have a little bit of that in my cup right now. Let's try it, shall
You
we?
want me to try it? It's fizzing, though.
That's not bad, Erica. You should try it too. Try it.
Put it in this.
Go ahead, give it a sip.
If you're not sure.
Give it a sip.
Yeah. Now this is just turning into a
I-
thing.
I have it in my cup as well. Here we go.
Are you doing it?
Yeah,
Raul, do it.
I'm drinking it right now.
I don't believe you.
I am.
Do you like it? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
yeah, go
liar.
ahead, Erica.
I wish you weren't a liar. I wish you weren't a liar. It's good, actually.
Is it? There you go.